I'm going to be teaching you guys how to fly the scout copters a little bit better. Hopefully teach you something new that you didn't know. First I'm going to go over the basic controls. On the right stick is the yaw. It'll move you left and right, like so. R2 is the throttle, and it'll bring you up. L2 is the brakes, it'll take you down. The right stick forward is to pitch forward, it'll drop the nose. Right stick back will pull the nose up and make you go backwards. The left stick for left and right will roll you either way. Left stick forward and back doesn't do anything. Next we're going to be going over the turns. The first one is more of a stationary turn to do strafing runs on whatever. To do the first one, you need to first start by steering with the right stick and turning in the direction you want to go, and then finishing it with a little bit of the roll also in the direction you want to go. The rest of the turns are more aggressive, and they're for fighting people on the ground. They're more of a sweeping motion rather than staying in one spot and turning. To do these, you have to first start by using the roll and roll in the direction that you want to go. By using the left stick to first start it, and then use the right stick to point in the direction you want to turn. You can just use the left stick and do kind of a strafing motion, so you can go back and forth from left to right or right to left. But after you're finished with the turn and you're facing the direction you want to go, you have to center the helicopter again using the left stick. If you're not center, you're just going to flip over and crash. So don't do that. If you don't center out, this is what's going to happen. Guy didn't correct the roll and he died horrifically. The next thing is the flare. It's simple, not flares, but flare. It's when you pull the nose back. Usually use it to avoid hitting things, but it's simple, but everyone should know it. The next thing is finding and countering Stinger missiles. You know, it's rare that people won't be shooting at you, but this is the technique that I use. I'll pull up and go into third person and wait for them to fire. Use the flares and then follow the trail of the rocket to see where it came from, and then go and kill that person. Usually it works pretty well. This clip right here, the guys were hiding in the building, so I couldn't really get to them, but it's a lot worse if you don't know where it's coming from, just as long as they can't keep shooting at you and like taking pot shots, because they'll eventually get you. In the last clip, the guy is locking on to me and waiting for me to use my flares a first time before he locks on again and shoots, which is really smart, but it's also very annoying if you're flying. If they're doing that to you, you need to either be able to hide behind something nearby or get ready to land, because you know they're going to shoot, it's going to hit you, so you have to repair. The next thing is how to crash properly. You know, it's better if you don't crash at all, but it's going to happen. The first clip is exactly how you don't do it. I shot the guy and then I smashed L2 to try to land, which is what you should never do because you'll almost always die. What you need to do is tap R2 lightly, because if you're not holding R2, you're going to be losing altitude pretty slowly, but sometimes it can be quick enough to still blow you up. So you need to just tap R2 until you're going slow enough that you can actually land. The only reason you should ever smash L2 is if you are already on the ground and your helicopter starts to kind of flip to the side. You know, it's not really centered on the rails. Then hold R2 or L2 by all means. Otherwise, if you try to take off again, it probably will flip and you'll die. Next is the air-to-air combat. It's pretty much fighting other helicopters. Usually I prefer to use only the guns, so I usually have the guided missiles on. The most important thing is to make sure you always know how high you are. If you don't know how high you are, it's easy to crash into the ground. Like right there, I got lucky and clipped the tail on something, but I was able to pull up. Usually that doesn't happen and it'll just instantly blow up. It's always better to have the high ground, so to speak, and be higher than the other helicopter, because that forces them to look up and kind of backpedal away. If you are going to use the guided missiles, you should try this method out and lock onto him and shoot only one missile at a time. This way he can't flare both of them, and then finish him off with the guns. But I still recommend just using the guns and practicing with it against other helicopters. In this last clip, I was watching my teammates do exactly what I said not to in the first two clips, and he ends up crashing right into the ground because he was lower and he was backpedaling, and he died because of it. The last thing is engaging infantry, just shooting people on the ground. What I do is I always aim with the bottom vertical line of the non-moving reticule. So you pretty much don't need to account for bullet drop unless you're really far away. It shoots pretty straight, even if you're moving. Just put it on them and shoot. I know it's easier said than done, but you just have to practice pretty much, and before you can get the hang of it. Better if you're lower to the ground, just because it's easier to it's just easier to hit them that way than if you're shooting from the top down. You can also just focus on shooting with the right stick, because roll in this case won't help you aim at all. In fact, it would probably make it harder. But that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know if you have if I need to clarify anything, and leave me a comment if so.